Hey guys, welcome to my very first self-love stuff video. Thank you so much for clicking and watching. I'm really bloody nervous. I really wanted to create a place where we could just talk about self-love stuff. A place for me to share my journey and a time for you to work on love for yourself. I wanted to keep it 100% real on this channel because it's not an easy journey at all. I'll touch upon it on this video, but it's like we almost have to go through these horrible things to then realise that we need to go on this journey. So let me introduce myself. My name is Eloisa. Hi to everybody who knows me already and hi to everyone who doesn't know me. Currently I am 26, stuck in quarantine in the UK, and I have a camera and this is what's happening. Bro, I'm like really nervous. I'm not even gonna apologise for my nails because we all know what the situation is right now. So for my first video, I wanted to start off with when I knew that I needed self-love. When I knew I needed to knuckle it down and show the same love that I give to other people towards myself. Do you know what's mad? It's like, I didn't even know this was a thing. That's actually wild. Like, I didn't even know that loving yourself was even a thing. You know, if I just lived my life the way I did, and I never opened my eyes to situations I was in or how to get myself out of situations, I don't think I would have stumbled across the idea of putting so much energy into yourself. Growing up in school and stuff, you don't really have lessons or self-love lessons. It's almost kind of upsetting that it's something you have to look for yourself rather than it being in front of your face. I wanted to touch upon the very beginning of my journey. So yeah, this video is going to be about when I knew it was time for some self-love. Some of these things might be relatable to you, so if they are, just letting you know that you are not alone and we can go through this journey together. Right, so without going too much into detail and exposing my entire life, I would say all of this happened in the course of 5 years. I started to become a lot more aware of decisions I was making, the ways that I was feeling, why I was feeling certain ways. I guess the situations that I was in got me down to the point where I recognised, sorry if I keep looking up, I'm just thinking. It got me to a point where I had to recognise this isn't how I want to live my life. This isn't how I should be thinking about myself. This isn't how I should be feeling. So let's do something about it. Do you know what? I think the hardest thing about recognising that you need to go on this self-love journey is being open and honest with yourself. You got to really be willing to go inside, you know, go inside here and go inside here and recognise that something needs to change. So number one, I started doubting myself. When I was younger, and in my teens, it just didn't cross my mind. I just wasn't aware of my whole entire existence. I was just living life. Never doubted myself. I never saw myself in a certain way. But when I started doubting myself, I changed everything. Everything I started to do, every decision I made changed. And that was kind of like the beginning of what was going on here. Am I becoming my own enemy? Things started to get harder in life, you know? Decisions I was making started to get so much harder. And then the older I got, this leads to number two, I started to compare myself. Doubting myself came with comparing myself. The older you get, where you are in your life might not exactly be where you thought you were. So then you start comparing yourself to your friend, to people around you, and that started affecting you too. And where you don't recognise that it's something that you actually have control over, it really gets to you. Just get into a state of like feeling really uncomfortable with yourself, not appreciating things that you're doing because you don't feel like it's good enough. You start to think like, is this how people think? You start to think, is everyone else around you comparing themselves to? Like, is this how people are excelling in life? They're comparing themselves and then trying to get to that place. You know, you almost kind of brush it off and think it's the norm, which is, I guess, what I did for a little bit. And then I realised, obviously, like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. This was probably the biggest factor to me even going into this journey of self-love. Toxic relationships. Oh! So, love is great. Love is such a great feeling, even when you think it's love, but that's the only kind of love that you know at the time, so you accept that that is love. One thing I made the mistake of doing was thinking that love from another person was the only type of love that I could receive. Toxic relationships was one of the biggest factors that opened my eyes to wanting to go on this self-love journey. And the sad thing is that you don't recognize it until you're out of a relationship or you come out of a situation, and it's almost like you need to go through that situation in order to realize it. You are tested. That will trigger things to make you question yourself, to make you compare yourself, you doubt yourself, to make you doubt the other person. You don't realize it when you're in that relationship. One day you wake up. You need to go through all the bad stuff. You need to go through all the bad situations, the bad decisions, for you to realize enough is enough. All of a sudden, you care more for yourself than the actual relationship. And then you just move. You just switch up from then, and then you make decisions, you know, you get out of it. Why am I clicking so much? I think I'm gonna make a whole different video on that because I could talk forever about like relationships and stuff like that. So yeah, when I started to realize I was going through the same situations, I was making the same decisions, I wasn't feeling good about myself anymore, that's when I knew, do you know what, I don't have enough love for myself in order to even be in a relationship or in order to even make this work. That's when I just knew like something's got to change. I got to really like love myself and go on this journey, basically. Right, so to finish this off, maybe one of my last factors that made me recognise I needed to go on this journey is I was downplaying every little thing I did, and most importantly, I wasn't celebrating like the little wins that I was going through. I started to brush off every little win that I had in my life and made myself feel like I wasn't going anywhere. And bruh, I'm getting teary, you know? What the fuck? I didn't think I was going to be this real. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I actually thought I was going to hold back. Okay, anyways, I'm not going to do the whole crying on camera thing because that's just all long. This is how I shake off the tears, by the way. I just, you know, do a little shoulder dance, a little shimmy and a imagine loving someone so much, yeah, and they do like the littlest thing, the smallest thing. Like, you celebrate for them, right? You celebrate for your friends, you celebrate for other people, like people that you love. But why are you not doing it to yourself? Like, why are you not celebrating every little win that you do? I think that's where it starts. I think forgiving yourself, understanding yourself, going through the journey with yourself is literally the very, very first step. And this is basically what I want to share with you guys. I've been through that journey. Those are the things that I've recognized about myself, and now it's just about developing and getting to a place where I know and be the person that I know I am. Obviously, I'm going to give you some story times, dive more into like all the things that I've said today, but it starts somewhere. Without sounding negative, it really does start with where you're going wrong in your life. What are you doing that doesn't show that you're loving yourself? I would suggest sit down, give yourself some time, be completely honest with yourself. Write down everything that you feel like doesn't make you feel good about yourself. What is it that you're doing? Recognize what you're doing and start from there. And it is literally as simple as looking at it and doing the complete opposite. If you're talking negative to yourself, start saying positive things about yourself. Little wins every single day. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate if you could subscribe, share the video if you want to, and let me know as well if you can relate to anything that I've said today. Anyways, I'm excited to share more of my journey and some tips with you guys, but as for now, I'm sharing some love and light. I hope you guys are keeping safe through this lockdown. Bye!